So yes, this is the pulse of the city, Camden, New Jersey, the first ever pulse of the city, and we're going to be everywhere, anywhere, trying to find the true essence of each community that's not being told. It's not the BS, but it's the true roots and culture of the community, the pulse of the city. All right, so tell us, what do you think the pulse of Camden is?
To me, the pulse of Camden is the other side of Philadelphia. We've got cultural, we've got community, we've got a diverse community. I think it's a wonderful place. I think it's been underserved. When I started doing my advocacy work as an activist, we were dealing with the 1,000 feet school zones, and everywhere in Camden was within 1,000 feet school zone. And the people that were going to jail for drug distribution in Camden were getting caught in that 1,000 feet school zone. What we found out was the arrests weren't being made during school hours. So it was a double-edged sword, because you have $1 million blocks here in Camden, which is such a small town, but you can fit Camden inside of Newark 3 times. And 53% of our prison population came from Camden City, and 53% of our prison population at that time came from Newark. But yet and still, you could fit Camden and Newark maybe 3 times. So that was a problem. And the fact that I think the resources here in Camden, we've been, well, if you come from Cherry Hill and you live there, your parents' houses, taxes are anywhere from maybe $8,000 to $10,000. But the homes here in Camden, New Jersey, their property taxes are $1,000 to $1,400. But their taxes is what pays for your public education. So you're telling me that if my parents have to live in Camden, that my education is not going to be as good as my neighboring partner in Cherry Hill or Collingswood or Bordentown or Cinnaminson, because our property taxes here aren't adequate. So you're continuing the dismay of black children when you're not giving them an education. And they know that because there's people in the legislative exchange that have determined how many prisons to build on your 3rd grade education, reading and math. 3rd grade. So they are looking at Camden's kids in the 3rd grade and determining how many of them are failing to determine how many prisons to build in New Jersey. That's why we're fighting right now. They're trying to build a prison in a juvenile justice facility in Newark, one in Central Jersey and one in South Jersey. Now, maybe you all don't know, but this is why WWNG is going to be on location, because we're going to be telling you this, because we've been doing this work for over 20-something years. And we knew 20 years ago that if kids were failing in the 3rd grade, that they would be building prisons. And here we are in 2019, and what is our threat? Our governor, we're fighting our governor right now, because we don't want these three juvenile facilities in our state. We want to take that money and put it into the school system. We believe in justice reinvestment. And until we get our legislators to understand and follow that, we're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep fighting to save our babies. And right now, Camden is a very important and unique place, because it is revival going on here. Camden is thriving, regardless that people didn't want to, that the politics forgot about us. There's still some great people here in this city and state.
So now getting back to the pulse, okay? So what do you feel like is the essence that's not being told? You had something, you closed your mouth. So tell me, what is it that you feel that is the gem of Camden?
Well, to me, the gem of Camden is the people that actually have stayed here and tried to build this city and raise their children here. The gem, to me, is the fact that they have never given up. That even though the economic resources have left this city, these people here are still fighting to make it a better place for their kids. And one of the things that I would like to see, and I just think that's all over, because when you have people like myself who have been working on a statewide and national level on criminal justice reform, that when we come into your cities, that we're not welcomed, or we're looking like we're trying to take over. Well, really, what we're trying to do is bring our expertise to the table to help you build a stronger city for yourself, because there's riches here in Camden, and some of us come to this work at different levels and different lanes. I always say I'm in that lane, I'm staying in that lane because that's my lane, but you might be in this lane. I want you to help me and educate me and show me what's going on in that lane. But at the end of the day, you know, I'd like to see us utilize the strength of our ancestors, who in some cases didn't have half of what we've got to work with today, and they were able to make that loaf of bread and to share that loaf of bread with their brethren and sisters. And so I think that if we could just kind of get back to some of that, that's the pulse of Camden to me. The pulse of Camden is that Camden thrives, that there's no other city to me like Camden, because of what they've been through to survive. How do you let your state forget about you, you know, and you survive? But it just goes to show that the people here are resilient. And I believe that God has touched them in so way, because people have moved from Camden to get away from here. And then there were people that were adamant about staying here and making it better. And I respect that so much.
So what about all the jobs that's coming to Camden? There's a big thing where the state, you know, making it where they don't have to pay taxes, and a lot of huge corporations are coming here. Camden's supposed to be going through this huge revival that every state official is touting is all because of them. But you know, normally when big jobs come here, Subaru came, all these, and they didn't hire nobody.
Well, one of the things that the Dare Academy, in the collaboration with the organizations and the partnerships that we've formed, we're going to make sure that those jobs that come to Camden are given to those residents here in Camden. We're going to make sure that our residents are trained properly in order to be able to get to acquire these jobs. No longer are we going to let people bring big business into our communities and we not benefit from them being here. It's just not going to happen no more. They will no longer say that their resource pool in Camden is inadequate and we can't pull from the Camden resources. No, that's not going to happen anymore. Done.
So we're going to have a great training programs, educational programs.
We're going to partner with the Department of Labor, Human Resources. We're going to step up to the plate, and actually a lot of it is being done in little silos all over now.
So we have initiatives already in place.
Right, yes.
Awesome. So what do you see yourself a year from now?
Well, I see myself a year from now smiling that some of the crime is down, that people are thriving, that our new entry program is up and running and well, and that we have been able to help people get their lives back together. We have ended intergenerational incarceration in Camden, and we've eliminated $1 million blocks.
On that note, thank you so much for giving me your time and your energy, and all the energy you have given not only to me but to your angel. You're literally flying in and giving your time, your sweat, your blood, tears.
It has been.
Yeah, I know.
It has been, and I used to take that lightly, but now I think about, I'm at 62 years old, almost 63, God willing. I've given up my some of my 30s, my 40s, all of my 50s, all of my 40s and my 50s, and I really want to see our community thrive better. I started doing this work in telling little boys in Camden that 12 of you would be locked up before one white boy and 3 to 4 Latino. Well, here it is 2019, 21 years later, and now I'm saying, oh my God, it's 30 little black boys that'll go to jail before one white boy and the same amount of Latinos. So it's just been, to me, it's disheartening to know that what African Americans, black people, black folks, brown folks, people of color, however you want to address yourself, have had to go through after Jim Crow. And it's just
Strategic.
It's sad that we are still fighting for freedom, that we're still slaves, that they've been able to get this off under the mask of mass incarceration. That has bothered me the most, because we bought in it as black people. We bought into it too. Our black politicians and our black clergy bought into it too, because crimes was in our community. But what they didn't realize is what was the underlying belly disease that was rotting in our communities, which was causing the turmoil. You know, we need to eliminate structural violence and function on public health. Public health. Healthy public creates public safety. Point blank. Healthy communities, safe communities.
Awesome. So on a positive note, what would you like to say to people that that's gonna see this? One signing note away.
Stay woke, stand up, step up, and speak up. Your voice is powerful. Your story is your story and your truth. And believe it or not, we've been able to change lots of public policy through just telling our stories as human beings.